Hello, everyone, and welcome to our session. So, from voice in the crowd to strategic partner, and I am Larissa Jones. I'm going to be your host this afternoon. Well, afternoon for me, maybe evening for some and morning for others. So, welcome wherever you are in the world. And I am joined by our fabulous presenter today, Sheera Van-Straten, and she is going to tell us more about herself. And she is going to kick us off and get us started on this fantastic topic. So I'm going to turn it over to you. And if you have any questions, please feel free to drop those in the chat. We will be monitoring chat and she'll be answering questions as she goes through her presentation. And I'm going to let you take it away.
Thank you, Larissa. Appreciate that. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. And really appreciate taking the time to join me today and in this wonderful conference that we're all in. So let's get started. Before I get into the topic, I just want to talk for a minute about myself and tell you a little bit more about me. I'm Shira. I'm located in sunny California, US. Beautiful day today. Can't wait to go to the beach this weekend. What have I been doing and who I am? I have been in talent acquisition for about a decade now, working at various companies, most recently in a company called Redis. It's a software company, and I'm their North America TA leader for about 3 years now. Why do I do what I do? I've been in TA because I'm truly passionate about the profession, about being part of someone's journey, and also to learn how to improve this profession. This is why I'm here and hope to help all of us. I'm also a mother of 2 lovely dogs that you can see in this picture, and I'm raising them with my amazing partner who has been supporting me through this journey. And I also am a traveler. I love to learn about cultures. I love to learn about people, and it's really interesting to me to just learn about the world. So, why are you here? So you took time from your day to listen to me, and here's what you'll get potentially from our time together. You'll get some practical day-to-day ideas of what to use and how to do, when to use and what to do when you're talking and taking part in hiring and influencing a business growth. So a little bit about what we're going to cover. We're going to talk about why I chose to talk about this topic. What have I done as it relates to this topic? What was the end result for me? And some key takeaways for you. At any point in this conversation, I see it as a conversation. Feel free to jump in. If you want to add anything from your point of view, anything from your experience, please write it in the chat. I'm sure others will also love to hear. Also, everything I'm sharing is my own point of view and from my experience. Others may see it differently, so feel free to share. This is really what we're here to do. So, why did I choose to talk about this topic? After about a decade in TA, I really learned that talent acquisition professionals, we tend to please as opposed to challenge and question and help grow. I'm here because sometimes you tend to lose the voice, and therefore you also lose the value of your opinion in decision making. I decided to share this because I recognized that this wasn't helping me, both professionally. I didn't see growth. I didn't see any challenges in what I'm doing, but also personally, I always felt like I'm not satisfied with my work. I'm not really achieving what I can and my capabilities and utilizing my skill set. And if this relates to any of you in your journey, professionally or personally, feel free to share. I'm sure others may experience the same or feel the same, and they just need to know that there's others in the same journey that they're going through. So, what did I do once I recognized all of these losing my voice, pleasing, and honestly feeling dissatisfied with my work? Once I recognized that and why I did that, what did I do? And again, if you have a different experience, feel free to let us know. You may have taken a different route to feel satisfaction, grow in your profession. So the first thing I did is I put on my thinking cap. I started to look at where can I provide better insights than others in the room? How can I transition to become the talent acquisition and the subject matter expert in my profession, in what I do and what I know that I'm capable of sharing? The second piece, and I feel like this is very important these days, is data. I started to look at trends. I started backing up my opinion as the subject matter expert with data. This way, I remove the approach of this is what I think to these are the fact approach. And that started to come in more into the conversation with others. In addition, I connected with others in my profession. It's amazing once you start tapping into your network or others in your profession, how much people want to share, how much we want to make each other better at what we're doing. Started asking questions. I started talking to others. I started engaging in meetings and everything virtually recently, but just engaging. Also, I challenged versus accepted. I started to ask my clients more questions. The why question is the most powerful question I've found, and I'm using it more and more because it really helps us understand what do people think and why. I also stopped saying yes. I stopped trying to please because I realized that's affecting my judgment, that affecting the end results. And then I asked for feedback. I think this is sometimes we missed it, but I went to ask feedback. It's always good to learn. What are you doing good and bad? It's very valuable to learn both professionally and personally. If there are any questions so far, I'm happy to answer them.
No.
Awesome. So, what was the end results from this hard work? Where did it get me? So first, I now have a seat at the table, and my opinion is sought after when we're talking about strategic decisions. I have VPs, C-level executives coming to me and asking for opinion when they're looking to grow their teams and their organization. They want me to help them understand data because they realize that I understand how to read it and how to inject it into what we're looking to do as a team. I also earned respect now by clients, by peers, by other team members, and the executives as well. I think that also helped me satisfy my professional needs to see that not only am I enjoying what I'm doing more and I feel more appreciated, I'm also seeing how others are recognizing that and giving me the credit for being the expert in the room. And on a personal level, I feel like I'm now growing a whole lot more. I feel like I have bigger network. I have others who really want to engage and understand and learn. I see both internally in my organization and externally in my network, people asking, people wanting opinion and maybe what is the best course of action, or just brainstorming sessions. Sometimes those are the most fun ones. And honestly, that gives me both satisfaction personally and professionally. So I encourage you to try that. What can you take away from all of that I just shared with you? First, learn to admit when you don't know something. It's okay. We don't have all the answers. If you think you do, I encourage you to look deep inside and really see if it's the best answer or if there are other answers and other ways to go about it. Once you recognize that you may not have all the answers, go and find a solution. Don't wait for someone else to figure it out. Go and seek. That is what's going to challenge you. That is what's going to help you grow professionally and personally. Other element is use data. Data helps you validate that your opinion is the best opinion, is the right opinion. And if it's not, you may learn something new and actually advance yourself. I really believe in our profession, we like to share from personal experience, but I also believe by having data, we can back this up to be the subject matter in the room. Last, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Fear of failing is the only thing that is holding you back. I was afraid of coming here and engaging and speaking. I decided to put myself out there because this is challenging me. This is growing me professionally and personally. The same I did in my day-to-day profession. I just put myself out there. I was okay with feedback, both negative and positive. I took it and I learned from it every single day. I encourage that to my team and I encourage that to you as other professions in our space. And on that, I would say thank you. If you have any other questions, that's my email. You can find me also on LinkedIn. I see there was a question that came in, so I'm going to also address that. The question is, what kind of data has been the most helpful and where did you find it? That's a great question, so thank you for bringing it up. The data that I used is to really help understand what are the trends in hiring. What are the trends that I can take and incorporate into my conversation with executives? Examples for that were, where should we open offices? Where should we expand teams? What type of a structure should we have in our organization? And that is the type of data that I collected for my profession specifically. Where did I find it? This is where I incorporated both interests in curiosity. That's a lot of searching and reading blogs, reading articles, getting to listen to a lot of podcasts also, and engaging with others in my profession. I tapped into Facebook groups. I tapped into, there's some rooms on different social media, but I tapped into those and I started making connections with others that I notice are leaders in my industry and learning from them and really reaching out and saying, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to become the subject matter expert. Can you help me? As I mentioned at the beginning, more often than you would think, they would be more than happy to help you because we have shared interests in helping each other. We just need to reach out first. And I hope that answered that question. Any other questions or any other comments, anything that I can add?
Laura had a great comment. She said, I do have a hard time seeing other answer options once I've come up with one, and she's working on that. So I think this topic has been very helpful and for all of us. I think a lot of us are that way too.
It's a journey. It doesn't happen overnight. I think I also come from a culture that you kind of always want to be right and you don't want to take the blindfold. And I think that over the years in our profession, you have to, in order to grow and be better. And yeah, sometimes you won't have the best answer and you'll need to recognize that. And you'll need to know what is the next step? How to grow from recognizing it, not just for that moment, but any time that you think you have the right answer, seek more to see if it is. That's where that data and curiosity comes in. It really teaches you on whether you have the best answer, or maybe there are others that can provide you with a better solution or a different way to come to the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a journey.
It absolutely is a journey. So we have a question from Glenn. He said,
Sure.
read external TA leaders and peers readily share on Facebook groups. What internal folks have you found share readily?
What internal folks share readily? So I just go and sit next to people and I just try to understand them. I think that leaders, even though they don't have always the time, they want to share because they understand how that influenced the rest of the process, that how that influenced their specific organization. I think that if you look at both sides, internally and externally with others in your profession, you are able to see where is there mutual ground. What do we potentially need to help internally if their perspective is very different than what externally exists? I will say I partner with a lot of other people in my HR organization all the time. L&D, HR, talent development, so much, because I really think that we as a group can help each other even more. So I do hear more from those because they are in my profession, the HR organization as a whole, the L&D as a whole. But I think that when you come to a leader and you're trying to tell them, I'm here to help you and I want to work better to make your organization better, they tend to open up. Yeah, you may need to find the time to put a meeting on their calendar sometime. That might be the biggest struggle you can find. But once you have their ear and once they recognize that you have interest in them and making their organization successful, you start seeing how slowly but surely they'll carve time for you because they know what the end result. And I truly hope that answered that question. Again, that is my perspective. If others have other ways that they have achieved success in that, by all means, happy to learn. That's where our feedback comes in.
Absolutely. Share in the chat. So I have a question for you. And while folks are thinking of other questions, given that we have over the last, 16 or so months been home, how have you seen, I love your title, going from a strategic part, from a voice in the crowd to a strategic partner. Have you seen that, become greater as people are able to influence greater, maybe from a virtual perspective because they're home and they have a little bit of that comfort? Or do you think being in the office made it a lot easier for people to be more influential in the hiring process and influencing on the hiring practice in your world?
Yeah, thank you for the question. In my world, what I noticed is that in our organization and with others externally from my organization that I seeked advice, they were actually more communicative. It was almost over communicative sometimes, which was very helpful for what I was seeking, than trying to find someone where they are in person, let's say. I feel like my Slack is always blowing up with messages because people are just communicating and meetings occur and you can just bring more people into the conversation virtually, as opposed to, I'm going to sit in your office and let's talk about this, brother. Let's do a video conversation, a virtual conversation, and we can add people from all over the world to join and discuss a topic. And I think that it took a little bit of time at the beginning of all of this, but I know that in my organization, people I interact with, it's over communicating sometimes, and I'm not going to complain about that. I would love it to stay this way when you go back to in person, because it just helps all of us. So that has been my own experience.
Fantastic. Well,
Yeah.
Are there any other questions? Well, I know as people are moving back into the lounge, they may have questions for you. So if you have
Sure.
time to drop in to a table, definitely stop by and say hello. And let's see if there are any more questions. I see things. Fantastic. So thank you so much
Thank you.
for the session. And we look forward to seeing everyone in the next one. So grab a snack and head to the lounge, and we will see you soon. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.